NASA making a historic announcement today that the Voyager probe has entered interstellar space, that place between the stars. It's now out beyond the sun's heliosphere. Think of it as a bubble of solar particles surrounding our solar system.
Voyager 1, the pioneering spacecraft launched by NASA in 1977, has once again shattered expectations, this time by uncovering a discovery so baffling, so utterly outside the bounds of current science, that experts around the world are scrambling to reassess some of the most fundamental assumptions about our universe. What was meant to be a short-lived mission has evolved into a half-century journey. And now, at the farthest edge of human exploration, Voyager 1 has encountered something so mysterious that it may force a complete rewrite of what we think we know about the nature of deep space itself. This time, it isn't just about the staggering distance, over 15 billion miles from Earth and still pressing onward through the silent dark. It's about what Voyager 1 has encountered in the uncharted depths of the interstellar void. Far beyond the heliosphere, the protective shell formed by our sun's solar winds, it has entered a realm untouched by any human instrument, where the rules we've trusted may no longer apply. What makes this moment extraordinary is not merely how far the spacecraft has traveled, but what it has found, an anomaly so deeply perplexing, so unaccounted for in our models of the cosmos, that it has thrown some of the most seasoned astrophysicists into a state of disbelief. This is a probe that was originally built for a mission lasting just a few short years, equipped with 1970s technology and a nuclear battery long past its prime. And yet, against all odds, it has sent back data that appears to challenge the known laws of physics themselves. Something so strange, so out of place, that some of the brightest minds in science are now calling it not unlikely, but impossible. For over 4 decades, Voyager 1 has served as a silent envoy from Earth, transmitting streams of data across unfathomable distances, a fragile thread connecting humanity to the most remote corners of the cosmos. It has offered scientists an irreplaceable window into a realm no other human-made object has ever touched, delivering priceless insights about our solar system and the space beyond. But now, something unprecedented has emerged from the void. This time, the signal wasn't just another routine stream of cosmic rays or background radiation. It was different. Subtle, yet deeply unsettling. A sequence of faint, rhythmic fluctuations in the magnetic field of interstellar space began to register on the spacecraft's sensors, pulsing like a whisper from the dark. These weren't the random patterns typically expected in such remote and quiet expanses. Instead, they bore the unmistakable signature of order, deliberate, coherent, and structured. Not echoes of a dying star, not the scatter of energetic particles from a distant flare. The signal formed a precise, repeating pattern, one that did not match any known cosmic phenomenon. It had no clear point of origin and no precedent in the catalog of scientific knowledge. Whatever Voyager 1 had stumbled upon, it was something the universe had never shown us before. The signal possessed an intensity that no one had anticipated, far exceeding what should be possible in the faint, nearly airless gulf between stars. Interstellar space, though not a perfect vacuum, is astoundingly empty, home to only a few scattered atoms per cubic centimeter. In such an environment, energy dissipates quickly, yet Voyager 1 had detected not just a faint anomaly, but a persistent, structured energy field, an ordered signal where chaos should reign. It was as if the spacecraft had unknowingly approached the periphery of something immense, deliberate, and possibly unnatural. The consistency and structure of the reading led some researchers to describe it as a kind of spaceborne code, a deliberate pulse etched across the fabric of the void, a ripple not caused by accident, but intention. Others, more cautious but equally intrigued, speculated it could be a previously undiscovered astrophysical process, one so exotic that it fell entirely outside current scientific models, a new kind of matter-energy interaction, a force shaped by conditions never before encountered. What lent the discovery even greater weight was its persistence. These magnetic fluctuations didn't vanish in an instant like the signatures of passing micrometeoroids or solar flares. They were measured across multiple instruments and repeated over an extended span of time. Voyager 1, with its aging sensors and fading battery, had captured something durable. Something that refused to be dismissed as a fleeting blip or malfunction. The readings endured, stable and unwavering, inviting deeper scrutiny and, inevitably, deeper mystery. At first, some scientists suspected a malfunction. It was, after all, the simplest explanation. Voyager 1 is nearly 50 years old, a relic of 1970s engineering, still running on a small, aging nuclear battery and onboard systems designed before the internet even existed. Its instruments, though remarkably resilient, were never meant to last this long or function so far beyond their original mission parameters. A glitch, a degraded sensor, or electronic noise from within the spacecraft itself seemed like a plausible cause, but the anomaly refused to be dismissed so easily. The signal was not isolated to a single faulty instrument, it was detected across multiple systems on board, all showing the same strange pattern. What's more, Earth-based receivers, using advanced signal processing to comb through the faintest whispers of interstellar data, independently confirm the same magnetic fluctuations. Even amid the vast ocean of cosmic background noise, the signal stood out, clear, structured, and unmistakably real. Whatever Voyager 1 had found out there, it wasn't a mistake. It was something new, something undeniable. This was no error. Voyager 1 had, without question, detected something new, something that sits entirely outside the boundaries of our current predictive models. And what makes this discovery even more extraordinary is not just the signal itself, but where it was found. Voyager 1 now travels far beyond the reach of the sun's influence. Past the heliopause, the invisible boundary where the solar wind surrenders to the interstellar medium. Beyond this threshold, the spacecraft drifts in a region untouched by Earth's magnetic breath, where space becomes colder, darker, and more mysterious than any environment humankind has ever studied. It is here, in this desolate, silent sea, where no planets orbit, no stars light the immediate sky, and no human influence remains, that the impossible signal arose. A region that should be inert, empty, and uneventful instead delivered a structured message, as if the galaxy itself had chosen this unguarded moment to whisper something forbidden into the void. Even more intriguing, scientists detected an additional element hidden within the anomaly, a frequency shift embedded in the magnetic pulses. Subtle, but measurable, the signal drifted as if it were not just repeating, but moving, oscillating, speaking. The data points to something astonishing, a motion embedded in the signal itself. It exhibits a clear drift, a steady oscillation that unfolds in a consistent, predictable rhythm, almost like the turning of a celestial wheel or the sweep of a distant lighthouse. The pattern behaves like a rotating field or a beacon broadcasting across the void. But it doesn't match anything recorded in the vast catalogs of known astrophysical phenomena. No neutron star, white dwarf, or pulsar exhibits this kind of magnetic choreography. Its symmetry, its modulation, its persistent regularity, all defy the random chaos expected of natural cosmic forces. This signal doesn't feel like an accident of the universe. It feels intentional, engineered. Unsurprisingly, the implications have sent ripples through the scientific community. Some theorists are now entertaining radical possibilities. One idea proposes that Voyager 1 has drifted into a sector of the interstellar medium where the fundamental properties of spacetime are not what we expect, where magnetic fields might twist, loop, or behave in non-linear ways that are incompatible with current physics. Others speculate that quantum phenomena may be at play on a scale never observed before. Could some form of macro-scale quantum entanglement be generating feedback loops within Voyager's aging systems, triggered only at this unimaginable distance? These are bold, fragile hypotheses, scientific scaffolding built atop an unknown. But even the most cautious voices agree, this isn't noise. It's a signal that challenges everything we thought we knew. No existing theory fully explains the scope, regularity, or sheer strength of what Voyager 1 has observed. Every known framework, mathematical, physical, and astronomical, falls short of capturing the nature of this phenomenon. It remains unclassified, unpredicted, and unresolved. And yet, this very uncertainty is what makes the discovery so profound. Rather than closing a chapter, it opens a new one. a chapter not just in space exploration, but in the human story itself. For as long as we've looked up at the stars, we've done so with questions. Questions about our origins, our future, and whether we are alone in the vastness. Voyager 1, drifting alone in the interstellar dark, has now deepened those questions. It has reached into the unknown and returned with something more than data. It has brought back mystery, and with it a reminder that the universe still holds secrets far beyond the reach of our current understanding. Voyager 1, still faithfully transmitting from the edge of interstellar space, has just raised a monumental new question. If this pattern isn't natural, then what is it? And if it's artificial, who or what made it? And why is it only now detectable so far from Earth? The implications are staggering. If Voyager has encountered a structure or energy signature shaped by intelligent design, it suggests we are not alone, that an older, far more advanced intelligence may have marked the cosmos. But if this is a natural force we've never seen or imagined, it could open entirely new frontiers in physics, reshaping how we understand energy, magnetism, and the very structure of the universe. In either case, whether the signal is natural or the product of intelligence, the result is nothing short of transformative. For the scientific community, this is a moment of both exhilaration and disorientation. For years, Voyager 1's transmissions had settled into a kind of cosmic background hum. Steady, consistent, offering slow and predictable data on plasma waves, magnetic fields, and cosmic rays. Each reading was a quiet contribution to the slow crawl of understanding. But this event, this signal, has broken the pattern. It demands a reevaluation not only of what lies beyond our solar system, but of what our instruments, no matter how aged, are still capable of uncovering. What makes this even more mysterious is that Voyager 1 wasn't heading anywhere in particular. It wasn't on course for a planet, a star system, or even a known celestial object. It was simply drifting, carried only by inertia, pulled by the momentum of a journey that began nearly half a century ago. And yet, in a universe of near-infinite silence, it crossed paths with something so precise, so improbably timed, that some scientists are quietly beginning to question whether this region of space is more structured, perhaps more intentionally designed than previously imagined. This line of thinking has led to a once taboo but now increasingly considered idea that the cosmos might contain zones where information, whether in the form of energy, magnetism, or even quantum resonance, is not just present but stored or transmitted, like data across a galactic network. If that is true, then Voyager 1 may have stumbled into one of these nodes by sheer chance, or by some larger unknown. If such a structure exists, it would represent a paradigm shift of unfathomable scale. It would not just redefine astronomy, it would reshape telecommunications, artificial intelligence, and our understanding of cosmic evolution. And with this comes a revived version of one of humanity's oldest and most haunting questions, the possibility of first contact. Not the science fiction spectacle of alien ships descending to Earth, but something subtler and more profound. The discovery of evidence that intelligence or design preceded us in the stars. The pattern Voyager 1 detected could be like a lighthouse beam from a distant civilization, sweeping silently across the galaxy, awaiting a chance encounter. Or it could be technological exhaust, residue from machinery functioning at such vast scales that we can't even conceptualize its purpose. Regardless of its source, the signal changes everything. It challenges our conception of deep space, not as a static emptiness, but as a dynamic, perhaps even interactive environment. It implies that the most barren corners of the universe may in fact be saturated with hidden patterns, encoded frequencies, and layered phenomena we're only just beginning to perceive. Voyager 1, far from being an obsolete relic, has reasserted itself as the most daring of all human explorers, returning not just science, but wonder. The beauty of this discovery lies in its tension, the collision of precision and mystery, of science and something more. We are witnessing something our instruments can detect, but our minds cannot yet explain. Voyager 1 has crossed not just a physical boundary, but a philosophical one. It is no longer merely a mechanical emissary from Earth. It has become a bridge between epochs, between dimensions of thought, between what we knew and what we dared not dream. It has passed beyond the sun's dominion and brushed up against something astonishing, something that wasn't even supposed to be there. And now, in laboratories across the world, researchers are racing to understand. Every line of code is being examined, every variable tested. Supercomputers are simulating the conditions of the anomaly. Theorists are drafting entirely new models of interstellar physics. Every possibility, from the mundane to the miraculous, is being pursued, because the implications are simply too great. This isn't just a curious data point, it may be a beacon, a message. And yet beyond the scientific fervor, there is an emotional thread woven through this moment, one that cannot be overlooked. For those who have followed Voyager's journey from the beginning, this feels like a narrative crescendo. The spacecraft that set out nearly 50 years ago, powered by the ambitions of another era, has returned one final mystery. One last question. It has always symbolized the best of who we are, the human need to reach into the darkness and search for meaning. Now, in the twilight of its operational life, it has given us a final gift, a whisper from the stars, a pattern where there should be silence, a riddle in the void, and in doing so, it demands that we, once again, open our minds wider, ask deeper questions, and prepare for the unknown, because something is out there, and now, thanks to Voyager 1, we know that it knows we're listening. What Voyager 1 has uncovered may be many things: a signal, a mystery, a glitch in the fabric of space, or a glimpse into something we are not yet equipped to understand. But perhaps its most profound impact is not what it found, but what it reminds us of. That even in our most advanced models of the universe, even with our towering telescopes and quantum simulations, we are still standing at the edge of something infinite. For decades, we have sent our instruments into the darkness, hoping for clarity. Voyager 1, built in an age before smartphones, before internet, before modern AI, has become more than a probe. It has become a symbol of endurance, of human curiosity that outlives empires and outpaces even its own purpose. It is a metal echo of our desire to connect, not just with planets or particles, but with meaning. That a 46-year-old spacecraft, held together by vintage circuitry and nuclear decay, would be the one to deliver a message we don't yet understand is something worth pausing over. It's as though the cosmos waited until our instruments grew old, until our expectations dulled, before offering us a mystery bright enough to shake us awake again. And what a mystery it is. The signal Voyager 1 encountered doesn't fit our categories. It isn't a cosmic ray or a known pulsar. It isn't the dying breath of a star or the remnant of some distant collision. It's structured, patterned, persistent, more like a song than a scream, more like a language than a flare. That alone stretches the mind. But then there's the question of timing, of coincidence, of location. Why there, in that barren stretch of interstellar dark? Why now? Why this probe? Maybe it's random, maybe it's not. That uncertainty, that fragile balance between explanation and awe, is the beating heart of science. We are trained to seek answers, to demand evidence, to distrust wonder. But what Voyager has given us is both. Hard data wrapped in mystery, numbers wrapped in poetry. In a time when the world feels increasingly small, digitized, surveilled, and saturated with information, Voyager reminds us that there are still places we haven't touched, still secrets not yet cracked open, still questions so large that they silence even our most confident assertions. And perhaps most beautifully, it reminds us that even old machines, like old ideas, old instruments, old dreams, still have something new to say. We often think of first contact as a cinematic moment, ships landing, aliens speaking, governments trembling. But what if first contact isn't loud? What if it's subtle? What if it arrives not as a visitor, but as a pattern, a whisper etched into magnetism, a ripple that doesn't belong? It's possible that the signal Voyager detected is natural, the result of a cosmic force we haven't yet discovered. And if so, it opens an entirely new field of physics, a deeper understanding of magnetism, energy, space-time, and structure. But if it's not natural, if it is artificial, then Voyager 1 didn't just make a discovery, it made contact, not with a civilization perhaps, but with evidence of one, not with a voice but with a fingerprint. That possibility, however remote, forces us to expand what we believe is possible. And in doing so, it expands us. In the end, the real discovery isn't just out there, floating in the void. It's in here too, inside us, in our response, in the quiet awe that follows when we realize the universe might be more alive, more aware, more connected than we imagine. Voyager 1 is still drifting, still transmitting, still listening, and we, on this pale blue dot, are listening back. We don't yet know what this signal means. We don't know if it's a message, a phenomenon, or an accident, but we know this: it found us. Or, we found it. And now that we've heard it, we cannot unhear it,